Okay, so get this. We're diving deep today into this article someone sent us. It's called Spirituality and Quantum Physics. Are we on the verge of proving the mystical?
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
I know, right? And it's from the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we're going to be kind of like wading into the waters where science and mysticism,
Yeah,
meet.
right.
So this should be fun.
It's a fascinating topic for sure. I mean, for centuries, science and spirituality have been seen as like separate domains,
Totally.
even like opposing forces sometimes.
Yeah.
And now quantum physics is kind of like blurring the lines.
Yeah. Are we saying that physics is finally catching up to what mystics have always been saying?
Well, that's the big question the article is trying to answer. And to even start to understand why that's such a like mind-bending topic, we need to kind of peek under the hood of reality a little bit.
Yeah.
So like a quantum physics 101.
All right, hit me with it.
But no textbooks,
Yeah.
just like aha moments. So imagine this. You have a single particle, right? But it's not just in one place. It exists in multiple places at the same time.
Okay.
It's called superposition.
Oh, right.
And it gets weirder. These particles can pass through solid barriers like it's a subatomic jailbreak. We call it quantum tunneling.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying matter can just teleport through walls?
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And then we have quantum entanglement, where two particles, even if they're light years apart, can influence each other instantly.
Oh.
It's like they're connected by some invisible thread.
So like a long-distance relationship?
Kind of, yeah, like a cosmic long-distance relationship. Even Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. He was really onto something.
But how does all this tie back to spirituality?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. The article really emphasizes the role of consciousness,
Okay.
specifically the observer effect.
Observer effect.
The idea that particles don't actually choose a definite state until they are observed.
Oh, like they need an audience to make up their minds?
Exactly, like our awareness is somehow nudging them into being.
So you're saying our minds can actually influence the physical world, like what the law of attraction's all about?
Yeah, that's one way to interpret it. The article quotes WaXhira, the founder and grandmaster of the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood.
Okay.
And they say, in meditation, the mind dissolves the boundary between the observer and the observed, between matter and consciousness.
Okay, I'm getting chills. That's a powerful statement.
It is.
So meditation is blurring the lines between what's observing and what's being observed?
Yeah.
Like we become part of the quantum soup or something?
Exactly. And that brings us to this really mind-bending idea that we might not just be passive observers in the universe,
Okay.
but active participants in shaping reality.
Whoa.
The article really digs into how meditation could allow us to tap into that power, maybe even leading to like manifestation and self-discovery.
Okay, wait a minute. If our thoughts and emotions can influence the quantum world, are we saying that they can shape our everyday experiences too?
That's the question, isn't it? I mean, think about it this way. If our thoughts are affecting particles which make up atoms, which make up molecules, which create everything around us,
Right.
is it that crazy to think that our consciousness could be rippling outward into the larger world?
Okay. I think my mind is officially blown.
Good.
But where does the quantum field fit into all of this? Is that like the stage where this whole mind-matter dance is happening?
Yeah, you got it. The article describes the quantum field as this universal energy field connecting everything in the universe. It's like the cosmic internet,
Okay.
but way cooler.
Right.
And that reminds me, isn't that similar to what some spiritual traditions call the Akashic Records?
Yeah, like this library of all knowledge and experiences.
Exactly. You're right. On the money. The article makes that connection, too, between the quantum field and the Akashic Records. WaXhira even suggests that through meditation, we can tap into this field, whether we call it quantum or Akashic, for like wisdom, healing, and self-discovery.
Hold on. Are we saying that quantum physics is like giving scientific street cred to ancient spiritual practices?
The Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood certainly seems to think so. They believe that quantum physics offers a scientific framework to understand concepts that mystics have been talking about for like thousands of years.
Wow.
It's like science is finally catching up to this ancient wisdom.
This is a lot. We've got quantum entanglement, maybe explaining our deep connections, the observer effect saying our thoughts have real power, and the quantum field possibly being the science behind the Akashic Records. I mean, where do we even go from here?
Well, that's a great question. Before we go any further, I think it's important to pause and just take a moment to reflect what resonates most with you so far. What's sparking your curiosity?
Well, I think for me, it's the sheer scale and mystery of it all.
Yeah.
Like we're just starting to glimpse this incredible reality that's always been there.
Right.
But it's also a bit daunting. like stepping into the unknown.
It is.
But I'm excited about the possibilities if our consciousness really holds this much power.
Right.
I mean, what could we achieve?
That's a question a lot of us are asking. It's humbling but also exhilarating to think that we might be more than just passive passengers in this cosmic journey.
Yeah.
We might actually be co-creating with the universe.
And that's a thought that could keep us diving deep for a long time.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really is a lot to process, isn't it? Like we're rethinking the very fabric of reality.
Yeah, and our place in it.
Exactly, for centuries.
Yeah.
The prevailing scientific worldview, it's really focused on matter as like the primary reality.
Right.
But quantum physics is kind of hinting that consciousness might be just as important.
Yeah, maybe even more so.
Maybe even more so, yeah. It's like instead of this clockwork universe where everything's already determined,
Yeah.
we might actually be living in a universe where like our choices, our intentions actually matter.
Wow, that's huge.
It's a paradigm shift like you wouldn't believe and imagine the implications. I mean, if our thoughts and emotions are like rippling out into this quantum field,
Right.
could they be influencing the events that happen around us?
That's getting into like science fiction territory.
It is.
But the article doesn't shy away from that, does it?
No, it doesn't. It almost presents quantum physics as like validation of ancient spiritual traditions.
Yeah, like interconnectedness and the power of intention. The idea that consciousness shapes reality.
Right. And those ideas have been around for a long time, in mystical and spiritual traditions for millennia.
Huh.
And now quantum physics might actually be providing a scientific framework to explain how they work.
It's like science is finally catching up to what our intuition has been telling us all along.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, it's tempting to get carried away with the mystical side of things.
Right.
How do we stay grounded, while exploring these ideas?
I think balance is key. Embrace the wonder, but keep a healthy dose of skepticism.
Okay.
Because quantum physics is still a very young science.
Right.
There's still a lot we don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to cherry pick evidence just to confirm what we already believe.
No, absolutely not. We have to be willing to question our own assumptions and biases.
Right.
And that's where critical thinking comes in. Approach these ideas with an open mind, a sense of curiosity,
Yep.
and be ready to be surprised.
So it's not about just believing everything we hear.
Right.
It's about using our own judgment to sort through the information and see what resonates.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot,
Yeah.
between the rational and the intuitive, the scientific and the mystical.
I like that.
And that's where the real journey begins.
So you're someone who's spent a lot of time thinking about both science and spirituality.
I have.
What do you see as the potential pitfalls and promises of this convergence?
That's a great question. I think one of the biggest pitfalls is oversimplification.
Oh.
Quantum physics is complex.
Yeah.
It's easy to misinterpret or misapply the findings.
Right.
We have to be careful not to force fit the science into pre-existing spiritual beliefs.
Right, like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah, exactly. We need to respect both science and spirituality
Yeah.
without trying to make them fit some neat little narrative.
So how do we avoid that trap?
Yeah.
How do we approach these ideas in a way that's both intellectually rigorous and spiritually meaningful?
I think it starts with humility.
Yeah.
Recognizing that we're dealing with huge mysteries, questions that have challenged philosophers and scientists for centuries.
Yeah.
We need to approach these explorations with a sense of awe and wonder,
So
a
that's
willingness to sit with the unknown
Yeah.
and embrace the paradoxes.
Humility is a good word. It's like acknowledging that we're standing at the edge of this uncharted territory.
All right.
We need to be open to all the possibilities.
All of them, even the ones that challenge our current understanding.
Yeah, and that's exciting.
That's where the excitement lies. The potential for discovery is just vast. I mean, imagine the insights we could gain, the technologies we could develop, the ways we could transform ourselves and our world if we can learn to use the power of consciousness in alignment with these quantum principles.
It's like a glimpse into a future where science and spirituality are working together
Right.
to unlock the full potential of human consciousness.
Exactly.
Okay, let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Mm.
How can we actually apply these insights in our everyday lives?
Well, one of the key takeaways from the article and from many spiritual traditions is the power of meditation.
Right.
If meditation really allows us to tap into the quantum field like WaXhira suggests,
Yeah.
then it could be a powerful tool for personal transformation healing, even manifesting our desires.
Okay, but I'm still a bit skeptical. Meditation is great for relaxation and stress relief, but how does it connect us to this quantum field and help us shape reality?
That's where the observer effect gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Remember, it suggests that particles don't exist in a definite state until they're observed.
Right.
And some physicists think this might apply to reality as a whole.
So you're saying that our thoughts, beliefs, and expectations could actually be influencing the probabilities of events in our lives.
That's the idea. Think of it this way. Our minds are constantly emitting this stream of energy, thoughts, emotions, and tensions.
Yeah.
And this energy might be interacting with the quantum field, kind of like nudging possibilities into actualities.
So if we're always focused on negative thoughts and anxieties, we might be creating a reality that reflects those fears.
It's possible, but here's the empowering part. It works both ways.
Okay.
If we can cultivate a more positive and expansive mindset, we might be able to shift those probabilities, attract experiences that align with our desires.
So it's not about like wishing for something and it magically appears.
No.
It's about aligning our thoughts and intentions with possibilities that already exist.
Exactly. It's about becoming conscious creators of our reality, understanding that our minds have way more influence than we realize.
Okay, but how does meditation fit into all of this?
Meditation is like training for the mind.
Okay.
By quieting all that mental chatter,
Yeah.
we can access a deeper level of awareness. It's a state of pure consciousness where we're more attuned to those subtle energies of the quantum field.
So it's like tuning our minds to a different frequency.
Exactly, one that's more in sync with the creative forces of the universe.
And when we're in that state, we're more open to insights, inspiration, even healing energy.
Exactly. It's like we're opening ourselves up to the wisdom and potential that's already there within us and around us.
Wow, it's like meditation gives us a backstage pass to the cosmic control panel.
Kinda.
But even if we're not ready to embrace the full quantum woo-woo,
Right.
there are still benefits to just calming our minds and finding some inner peace.
Absolutely. Whether or not we fully understand how it works, the evidence is clear meditation is good for us.
Yeah.
And in a world that's increasingly chaotic and stressful,
Oh, yeah.
who couldn't use a little more inner peace?
Right. But it sounds like meditation is more than just a stress buster.
It is.
It's a way of tapping into our deeper potential, aligning ourselves with the flow of the universe,
Right.
maybe even influencing the reality around us.
Exactly. And that's where the real power of these ideas lies. It's not just about understanding the universe intellectually.
Right.
It's about using that understanding to transform ourselves and our experience of reality.
Yeah.
It's about bridging the gap between the mystical and the mundane, between the infinite potential of the quantum field and the everyday realities of our lives.
That's powerful, and I feel like we're just scratching the surface here.
We are. This is just the beginning.
There's so much more to explore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see where it takes us.
Me too, and I know our listeners are with us. They'd love to dive deep into these mysteries.
And that's what makes these conversations so rewarding.
Yeah.
It's a shared exploration, a collective quest for understanding.
And sometimes the most profound discoveries, they don't happen in laboratories or temples.
Right.
They happen in the simple act of sharing ideas and perspectives.
I couldn't agree more. It's in the dialogue,
Wow.
the exchange of thoughts and experiences that we really start to grasp the interconnectedness of it all.
Okay, we're back, and wow, there's a lot to unpack here. Quantum entanglement, the observer effect, the idea that we might be shaping reality with our consciousness.
I know, it's like we've been looking at the world through one lens for so long, and now quantum physics is giving us this whole new perspective.
Yeah, totally. Like switching from black and white TV to full color holographic.
Yeah.
But with all these mind-blowing ideas, I keep coming back to like, how do we actually use this in our lives?
Well, the article keeps coming back to meditation. Remember that quote from WaXhira about it dissolving the boundaries between the observer and observed? They think that might be the key to like unlocking the power of the quantum field in our everyday lives.
I see, but I'm still a bit skeptical.
Yeah.
I mean, meditation's great for relaxing and de-stressing, but
Yeah.
how does it connect us to the quantum field and help us shape reality?
That's where the observer effect gets really interesting, right? It suggests that particles don't have a definite state until they're observed.
Right.
And some physicists think that this might apply to reality as a whole.
So you're saying our thoughts, beliefs, expectations could actually be like filters influencing what happens in our lives.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Our minds are always sending out energy, right? Our thoughts, emotions, and tensions.
Yeah.
And this energy might be interacting with the quantum field, nudging possibilities into becoming real.
So if we're always focusing on negativity and anxiety,
Uh-huh.
we might be accidentally creating a reality that reflects that.
It's a possibility, but here's the empowering part. It works both ways.
Okay.
If we cultivate a positive and expansive mindset,
Uh-huh.
we might be able to shift those probabilities. Start attracting experiences that we want.
So it's not like some magical law of attraction where you just wish for something and poof, it appears.
No, not at
It's
all.
about aligning ourselves with possibilities that already exist in the quantum field.
Exactly. Becoming conscious creators of our reality.
Yeah.
Understanding that our minds have so much more influence than we thought.
Okay. I'm starting to get it, but where does meditation fit into all of this?
Meditation, it's like training for the mind.
Okay.
But by quieting the mental chatter,
Right.
we can get to a deeper level of awareness, a state of pure consciousness where we're more sensitive to the subtle energies of the quantum field.
So like tuning our minds to a higher frequency, one that's more in harmony with the universe.
Exactly. And in that state, we're more receptive to insights, inspiration, creative solutions, and we're more likely to act in alignment with our true purpose.
Wow. It's like meditation gives us a direct line to the source.
In a way, yeah.
But even if we're not ready to go full quantum woo-woo,
Sure.
there's still so much to gain from just calming our minds and finding inner peace.
Absolutely. And whether or not we understand exactly how it works, the evidence is clear. Meditation is good for us.
Yeah.
And in a world that's just getting more chaotic and stressful,
Tell me about it.
who couldn't use a little more peace?
Right, but it sounds like meditation is more than just stress relief. It's like a way to tap into our potential to align ourselves with the universe and maybe even influence reality around us.
It's about recognizing that we have way more influence on our lives and the world than we might think.
That's pretty empowering, and I think that's a great message to leave our listeners with.
I agree.
We're not just passive observers, we have the power to shape our reality, to heal ourselves and the world, to tap into that infinite potential of the quantum field.
And it all starts with a willingness to explore, to question, to embrace the mystery.
What a deep dive this has been. I think we've all learned something new today about ourselves and the universe, and hey, maybe we even activate some quantum powers along the way. Thanks for joining us, and keep exploring.